All right, everyone, welcome back and thank you for checking out episode 3 here with DVCI. Today's topic is going to be frequently asked questions regarding workers' compensation coverage for contractors. Most contractors, this specific line of coverage accounts for anywhere from 30 to 50% of their overall insurance spend. And there are some nuances that a lot of people don't understand. So today I want to go through some of the most commonly asked questions that we get regarding workers' compensation insurance. Now, high level, just a review if you're not familiar, workers' compensation coverage is designed to provide coverage for any medical bills or lost wages to your employees if they are hurt within the scope of their employment. Okay. So the first question that we always get anytime we sit down to do a renewal or a mid-year review is, how are my work comp premiums calculated? Now, in some states, this could vary slightly, but very simply, from top to bottom, work comp premiums start based off of your payroll, the total payroll that you have in each classification. The second piece is the type of work that you are doing. Which classifications do you fall under? Whether you're an electrician, a paver, a plumber, whatever it may be, what specific code are you in? And then from there, your claims history, which is used by each state, or depending on what state you're in, the NCCI Bureau, to calculate your experience modification. Okay, so we start with the total payroll you have, multiplied by the rate in which you are classified in, and then applied to that is your experience modification. Other things that go into that are a schedule credit. So this is something that next time you review this, you want to understand what type of schedule credit you are getting. And in short, what that schedule credit is essentially a reflection of how much the underwriter or your specific insurance carrier likes your account. It's a discretionary credit or debit that they can apply to your premiums to either increase or decrease them. Ways to positively impact that are proper risk management controls, and then obviously having a good, clean loss history, extremely important. Okay. Question number 2 that we get a lot is, does workers' compensation cover me as a business owner? And this can vary from state to state. Depending on where you're located, this is different and there are certain requirements. But in most states, owners of businesses have the ability to exclude themselves from workers' compensation coverage. And 9 out of 10 times, this is something that we recommend because it lowers your overall workers' compensation cost by removing owners' payroll from those calculations. And owners often are compensated more than most people in the organization. So by backing out their payroll, we're able to reduce overall work comp costs. And at the end of the day, most business owners aren't going to be filing claims on their own insurance. They typically would go through with getting that taken care of outside through their health insurance or whatever it may be. Okay. The third question that we get a lot is, what happens once our employee gets hurt off the job site? If they come to work with a pre-existing injury or whatever it may be. There's not a really clear-cut answer here, right? If somebody gets injured on a Sunday, they fall out of their tree stand while they're hunting, they come in on Monday, and at the end of the day, they start complaining that they've got some shoulder pain. The best recommendation I can make here is to make sure that you are properly documenting any either reports of injuries from your employees or any signs of injuries that you may have noticed that they may not have formally reported. Keeping a good file here can ultimately protect your business and your work comp costs in the long run by making sure that you don't end up paying out faulty work comp claims. This is becoming a lot more relevant as of late because of how tight the labor market is in the construction industry. People are hiring new or inexperienced people, and the turnover is much higher. And when that happens, we find that there are certain people out there who make a career out of going out on work comp claims. You may bring somebody on who left their last employer because they had some sort of workers' compensation injury, who is coming back, and they're going to do that on a habitual basis with each employer. So it's important to make note of those things, do reference checks and everything like that. Okay. Now, the last question we get all the time is how can we reduce our workers' compensation costs, right? This is the $1,000,000 question that everybody has. And there are a few ways. Some of these vary by state, but number one, as I mentioned when we discussed how our costs calculated, is managing your claims, right? Making sure that you're doing everything you can from a risk management and safety perspective to lower your overall claims experience. Claims are often looked at on a frequency and severity basis. So the less amount of claims you can have and the smaller claims you can have, the better. Okay, that's number one. Number two is to make sure that you are promptly reporting work comp claims. As soon as somebody is injured on the job, making sure that you promptly report it so that you can let the insurance company do their job and take over that case to make sure that your injured employee doesn't end up at a doctor who is employee friendly, who may give somebody 3 months out of work for a cut on their finger. So prompt reporting is extremely important. And then the last part is take advantage of any state or, whatever programs may be available to you based on where your business is. So for example, in Delaware and in some of the surrounding states, most states, there is a contractors premium adjustment program. And essentially what this does is it rewards employers with higher average payroll wages with an additional discount on their workers' compensation premium. So if you're somebody who's doing a lot of prevailing wage jobs, this is something you would almost always qualify for. There are other credits available too. Specifically in Delaware, there's the Delaware Workplace Safety Credit, which could get you up to another 19% discount on your annual premiums by filling out some paperwork and completing a couple of surveys. So there's a number of things, but big picture, the best thing you can do to lower your overall insurance costs is to make sure you have the proper procedures, risk management programs, and prevention policies in place to prevent claims from happening. Obviously, the ultimate goal there is to keep your employees safe, but the additional benefit to that is lowered insurance premiums. Okay. So these are some of the more common questions that we get regarding workers' compensation. If there's any questions that you have that we didn't answer, feel free to leave a comment. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share with anybody who you may think would find this valuable.